Did you know that the average prepper spends thousands of dollars on equipment they'll never use? It's time to stop the waste and start prepping smart. The shocking truth about prepping purchases is that too often, they're driven by fear rather than foresight. In the rush to prepare for the worst, we can lose sight of what's truly important. We're seduced by the latest gadgets, the most impressive gear, and the promise of a fully stocked bunker. But how much of it will we really use? How much of it is truly essential? It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of acquiring new gear, but the reality is that many of these items will sit unused, collecting dust. That's not just a waste of money, it's a missed opportunity. Every dollar spent on unnecessary gear is a dollar that could have been put towards more valuable resources or skills. That's why it's time to start prepping smart. It's time to take a step back and consider what's really important. Instead of focusing on quantity, let's focus on quality. Instead of buying every gadget under the sun, let's invest in equipment that's reliable and versatile. Instead of stockpiling food that we'll never eat, let's think about sustainable sources of nutrition. In the rest of this video, we're going to delve into the prepping purchases that you should avoid. We'll discuss the pitfalls of relying too heavily on technology, the dangers of panic buying, and the importance of balancing your resources. We'll also talk about the often overlooked value of knowledge in a survival situation. So, if you're ready to stop wasting money and start prepping smart, keep watching. This is not just about saving money, but also about ensuring your survival and well-being in any situation. Stay tuned, as we are about to reveal the prepper purchases you should definitely avoid. Avoid falling into the trap of fancy, expensive gadgets. They often break, are hard to repair, and usually have cheaper, more reliable alternatives. This is especially true in the realm of prepping, where resilience and reliability are key. For instance, a solar-powered multi-tool smartphone charger might sound impressive, but it's often less reliable than a simple hand-cranked radio for getting information. Similarly, a high-tech water purifier might seem like a great investment, but a basic iodine tablet or boiling water can be just as effective and far less expensive. Even in the world of tools, a simple, sturdy knife will often serve you better than a multi-tool gadget that's trying to be a jack of all trades but master of none. So before you get dazzled by the latest survivalist gizmo, remember, it's not about having the most gear or the fanciest equipment, it's about having the right tools for the job that are reliable and resilient. Remember, simplicity often outperforms complexity when it comes to survival. A common mistake is overloading your backpack. It should be your sanctuary, not a burden. It's vital to understand that your backpack is your lifeline in survival situations. It's where you store your essentials, your tools, your food, and your water. But here's the catch. It's not about cramming in everything you can think of. It's about choosing what's necessary and leaving out what's not. Think about it. Would you rather have a bulky backpack that slows you down, or a light, efficient pack that allows you to move quickly and effortlessly? So, what should you include? A good rule of thumb is to pack the basics: food, water, shelter, and first aid supplies. Then consider tools for navigation, fire starting, and communication. Now, what to leave out? Anything that's not essential. If it's not going to directly aid your survival, it's just extra weight. Remember, your backpack should aid your survival, not hinder it. Panic buying can lead to unnecessary purchases and wasted money. When danger looms, it's easy to let fear guide our decisions, leading to a rush on items we may not even need. This reaction, while entirely human, can leave us with a stockpile of gear we don't understand, can't use, or simply won't need. The key to avoiding this pitfall lies in careful planning and educated decision-making. Instead of giving in to knee-jerk reactions, take a step back, evaluate your needs, consider your skills, and make a list of what you truly require. This approach not only saves you money, but also ensures that you're prepared with items that will genuinely serve you in a crisis. Remember, panic buying often leads to regret. Items purchased in a rush can sit unused, taking up valuable storage space and draining your resources. Always plan your purchases and avoid buying out of fear. Your wallet and your future self will thank you. While beans are a staple in many preppers' pantries, don't get bogged down by them. Beans are a fantastic source of protein and fiber, and they store well, but loading your pantry with nothing but beans can lead to nutritional deficiencies and, frankly, mealtime monotony. It's important to incorporate a variety of nutrient-dense foods in your storage. Consider options like quinoa, a protein-packed grain that's also rich in iron and magnesium. Freeze-dried fruits and vegetables retain their nutritional value and add much-needed vitamins and color to your meals. Don't forget about canned meats and fish, which provide essential fatty acids and are ready to eat straight from the can. Include some comfort foods too, like pasta or rice, and spices to add flavor. They can be a mood lifter in stressful situations. Also, think about foods that require minimal preparation and water in case resources are scarce. Remember, variety is not just the spice of life, it's also crucial for survival. The greatest weapon in a prepper's arsenal isn't a fancy gadget or a stockpile of food, it's knowledge. Now you might be thinking, but I've got the latest gear, the best equipment, and enough canned goods to last me decades. That's great. But without the proper knowledge, all those things are just items taking up space. Imagine you're stranded in the wilderness and your GPS device fails. Without the knowledge of how to navigate using natural landmarks or the stars, you'd be lost. Or let's say you've stockpiled canned goods, but you've never learned how to prepare a meal without modern conveniences. Suddenly, your pantry full of food isn't as useful. Just think about it. The pioneers who first settled the wild frontiers didn't have access to the modern conveniences we have today. They survived and thrived based on their knowledge and skills. They knew how to hunt, fish, build shelter, and even how to predict the weather by observing nature. This is why it's crucial to invest in learning survival skills. Sure, gadgets can help, but they're not foolproof. Batteries die, equipment can break, and canned goods can expire. But knowledge? It doesn't expire, it doesn't break, and it doesn't need batteries. It's the one thing that will stay with you no matter what. So, how do you acquire this knowledge? Start by learning basic survival skills, like how to build a fire, purify water, or navigate using a map and compass. Then, expand your knowledge to include things like first aid, foraging for edible plants, and basic mechanical skills. Don't forget about the mental aspect of survival. Learning how to stay calm under pressure, how to make difficult decisions, and how to keep your morale up are just as important as any physical survival skill. The beauty of knowledge is that it's not dependent on your budget. You don't need to break the bank to learn these skills. There are plenty of free resources available online, at your local library, or even community classes that teach survival skills. Invest in knowledge, and you'll be prepared for anything. In conclusion, prepping smart is about more than just stockpiling supplies. Let's take a moment to reflect on the journey we've been on together. We've uncovered the shocking truth about prepping purchases, and discovered that not all that glitters is gold. Fancy gadgets might seem appealing, but they often prove to be unnecessary drains on our resources. Instead, we've learned the value of keeping it sharp and simple, and that our backpack truly is our sanctuary. We've delved into the perils of panic buying, exploring how it can lead to a stockpile of items that don't serve our needs. Remember, a mountain of beans won't do you much good if you can't stand the taste, or if they're beyond their expiration date. It's not about having the most, it's about having the right things, in the right amounts at the right time. We've also learned that knowledge truly is our greatest weapon. It's not about having a gadget for every situation, but about understanding how to adapt and improvise with what we have. We found that the allure of technology often pales in comparison to the reliability of good old-fashioned know-how. In the world of prepping, balance is key. It's important to have a mix of long-lasting staples, quality purifying tools, and essential items that don't depend on a power source. It's about understanding that convenience often comes with hidden costs, and that the real treasure might just be the garden in your pantry. So, as we wrap up, remember to avoid the pitfalls of unnecessary purchases. Invest instead in your knowledge, in your skills, and in the quality of your supplies. This approach will not only save you money, but also equip you with the tools and the mindset to handle any situation life throws at you. Remember, prep smart, live well, and you'll be ready for anything.